Hey, I'm Riley, and this is the Superhuman Podcast. At Superhuman, we bring you cutting edge insights from health experts and high performers to help your bodies unlock your body's full potential, supercharge your mind, and achieve more with less effort. Do you want to fix nagging health issues, boost productivity, spark genius ideas, master stress, and build better relationships, and increase your income? It all starts by optimizing your inner machinery. Today, I'm joined by Ryan Wenger, lawyer, founder, and CEO of Inhouse, the AI-powered in-house counsel trusted by fast-growing businesses. Before Inhouse, Ryan built Where To from idea to 80 million in annual revenue before exiting to a public company. He's one of the most forward-thinking minds at the intersection of law, AI, and entrepreneurship. And today, we're going to be diving into how founders can protect themselves, move faster, and scale smarter. Ryan, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. A lot of important stuff you're hitting on.
Yeah, I think it's really important for a lot of people that they don't even realize that they need it. And it's really interesting talking with people on the show that they sometimes develop solutions to their own problems, which they later on end up selling to market. But like with your origin story, how did that all start for you with Where To? And
So
then eventually to in-house?
my first company was a solution to my own problem. It was a search engine based on your budget because I always loved to travel as far as I could go and had a sense of what my budget was rather than where I wanted to go. And especially at the time, the search engines required the opposite. You put in, we're in Vegas, how much are flights and hotels? Um, Not the opposite. So we built wherefore.com, which was the first search engine based on your budget where you could say how much you want to spend and it would kind of reverse engineer the search, look at flights and hotels everywhere and show you on a map where you can go and let you book the entire trip, flight and hotel in just a few clicks on our website, within your budget. And I just wanted it to exist for my own travel and raise money from my boss at the law firm that I was an attorney at, and built it nights and weekends, hired coders, built it, launched it, got written up in some big publications that helped send it.
That's amazing. And then like you were practicing law for some time, then to building companies. Like what was that moment for you when you realized now moving to what you're doing now, like legal workflows needed to be reinvented with AI?
How did I figure out that legal needed to be reinvented with AI? Sure. Well, when I sold that company, so it pivoted to business travel, and then um, we sold it, and I stayed on for a few years. And when I left that entire journey of 7 years building Wherefore to Where To, it was like 2021, and realized the power of AI to solve people's daily legal needs, small business owners, contracting and employment and compliance needs, but also that ChatGPT isn't particularly reliable at it. So it's better than, what was before, but it's not reliable. So we
Sure.
wanted to build a platform that would be both reliable and compliant. So as a lawyer, I knew I could open a law firm that would integrate with AI and oversee the output and make it fully reliable, and also provide all the duties that lawyers owe to clients, like loyalty and competence, and combining it with my AI experience or my tech experience, should I say, where I know how to build, products, good products used by many. Felt I could build something really special. And from that, built inhouse.ai.
Very cool. And then you've probably seen a lot of different situations of founders and legal related issues. What are some of like the biggest legal mistakes you see founders make in like the first 12 months of business? And they probably comes back to haunt them too.
Yeah, I'd say the most common mistake I see for that crowd is overusing NDAs,
Yeah,
or being
I'm
too
sure.
secretive with their ideas. Right? People feel like their idea is their baby, and sharing it is going to lead to someone stealing it kind of out of the social network, and never happens. Very, very rarely. It's usually the opposite, like not sharing it, not people not caring about it. So really common for especially first time founders, to like have an idea and want to make an NDA and have everyone sign it before sharing it. And you don't have to do that.
Yeah, as you were saying that, I could think of like 3 people on the top of my head who don't wanna let their baby go.
Oh, and,
But
and then
y
the second mistake I see commonly is putting process in front of like product. Um,
Okay.
so you really don't need to create a fancy company. You don't have to worry about, you can just kind of spin out an LLC, using in-house another legal tech company. Um, Simple. And then you can always refine it later. Like a lot of times you don't even need a company. Like it's better to just start working on a project with some people, talking to customers, make sure that what you're building people want, and then wait for a certain amount of traction to spend your time and headspace building the corporate structure. And I know this is surprising, probably coming from a lawyer. Um, but it's because I know what actually matters between the two chapters of my career that I give that advice.
Yeah, that's really fascinating. Now you've built like a couple of these companies. There's probably a lot of spinning plates happening at any given time, and that's a lot of of your mental RAM probably being taken up. So, like, what were some of the key superhuman habits, routines, or decisions that allows you to operate at that level?
I regularly work out 3, 4
Got it.
times a week. That's a centerpiece of my life. Just to be able to, I find, I could think a lot. It's like my only time to really not have something happening,
Yeah,
like a
decompress.
meeting. So it's a great time to brainstorm. Um, Eating balanced food, like
Yeah,
big fan of like not being too crazy on any side, eating just like kind of the Mediterranean diet, 3 healthy meals. I also find that habits tend to um like stack and like
yeah,
trigger other good habits. So doing these little things tend to like, you work out one day, you're like, well, I don't want to waste it with a cheeseburger. So you eat a healthy meal. And
exactly.
then that night you're like, well, I already did this, this, and this. So let me only have like 1 glass of wine. So doing those little things can really have big cascading effects, I've found. I'm not too like health focused beyond just like functional, like be healthy, minimize sickness, live as long as possible. I'm more of
Yeah,
a
all the
happiness
essentials.
kind of guy.
Yeah, I think that's key. And for you, was sleep something that you had to sacrifice a lot in the early days, drinking a lot of caffeine, or did you feel like sleep was pretty well managed?
No, I mean sleep is obviously important. Recently it's been elusive because there's like a lot of stuff going on at once. Um I wouldn't say I have any kind of insights on that.
That's fine. Cool. Well, back to kind of like more so what you're doing, like, you know, you were advising as a new founder with limited resources. What for founders listening, what are some of like the 3 legal documents that you absolutely need to get right from day one?
Right. Customer facing agreements are going to be so important, right? So um, you'll be judged on them. So it's really important to take your time with like MSAs and service agreements. Um, you can use, AI quite effectively there. You just describe the situation, and with inhouse.ai, it knows all the lawyer tricks, knows what to ask. So it will figure out the right format and structure and write a professional agreement. And you can have lawyers from our network review and finalize it, or just use it as is. So that's a good way to have something better than a template that's really professional and protects you. Um, uh, what other agreements are so important? Employment is a really big source of litigation. So again, making sure you're using like an independent contractor agreement, if that's the situation, or employment agreement, um, if that's the right structure, which depends on state law. Again, you can use AI to figure out the right one and use it to draft. It's very important because common lawsuits and the government will come after you if you misclassify employees. And these things don't happen until you're successful, but the last thing you want to do is
Yeah.
build a company that has like landmines just waiting for your success to blow up.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Not something people can see, but you need right away.
Yeah, and then
How
third, regarding IP, if you do have actually valuable IP, that's also important to keep. So a good patent is a very important tool. If you've built a unique process, a piece of software, it's creative and innovative. It's worth hiring a lawyer to to create that. Trademarks are really important. Protect that; they're not too expensive. And trade secrets is just a trade secret is a very common form of IP that is like any process in your company that you think is valuable that you keep from the world. It can become IP by using NDAs to keep to make sure anyone exposed to it understands that it's your property.
Absolutely. And with AI, I mean, we just heard about Gemini 3 coming out and all this AI change. How do you see it, like the way that AI change will affect how companies will handle onboarding, contracts, compliance, and legal risk over the next 3 and 5 years?
So I think there's a huge need for a compliant legal AI, which is why I'm super excited about what we're doing.
Sure.
It's very tempting to go to ChatGPT or Gemini to give it legal problems and get advice or to ask for it
Yeah.
to draft a document. But
Yeah.
just 2 weeks ago, the articles came out about legal and medical advice, saying that
I
the
saw
terms
that.
of service had been clarified, that they can't give AI can't give legal advice, can't give medical advice. So I think there's a conflict between companies and people that want to use AI to get reliable advice and its inability to deliver it. So again, this is like why in-house is why we're passionate about it. Um, so there'll be a company, hopefully it's ours, that solves that problem, that
I hope
like is
so.
reliable, compliant AI that you can just go to solve your legal
Yeah.
needs.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I guess like just building all this, I'm very curious. Like, what personal values or mental frameworks did you feel guided you through building, scaling, and exiting companies? Like, how did you stay grounded through it all?
Yeah. There's one like framework that I have used through my life in business and personal. I call it the tiebreaker rules. And, I was watching baseball one day and noticed that the tie goes to the runner. Like, if you catch a ball at the same time someone slides into the base, it goes to the runner. The reason they do that is because it's so hard to like get on base and hit that it makes it less boring to, it gives it the advantage. So I thought that was a good metaphor for like all the things that happen in your life and that there should be a framework for automatically guiding a tiebreaker to the right outcome, the one that you want to aim your life towards.
Love it.
So I thought about I got home. I like outlined what are the things I care about, what are the things I want, the long term things, and for me, it was like good relationships, health, saving money, and like adventure, like seeing new
Mm,
things, trying new things. These are like the big objectives, things I care about, values. And then I thought about the micro decisions that either move you towards or away
yeah.
from those places.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I during the day recognize that I've in one of those little micro decisions, I automatically make that decision that I've already made. So it's
Cool.
silly, but like an example is like when you're like at a restaurant and you can't decide between like, oh, should I get like the fish or the fillet, like fish or
Mm,
steak? Like okay, well, this implicates health. Let me just get the fish. And the reason it's not like an austerity thing. I'm not saying to always get it, but if you're on the fence about something, it's an easy opportunity to give it up. So, and these are the micro decisions that end up making you healthy or not healthy, making you a good partner or a bad partner. These kinds of little daily things that are like invisible, but contribute to this. So this is like the system that I use constantly several times a day.
Yeah, I loved how you mapped out your North Star, the main goal, and then you reverse engineered it. And then it's like all those micro things that compound into what that North Star turns into, whether it's good or whether it's bad and everything. So that's fascinating. Great,
Right.
Ryan. Where can people learn more about you? Where can they visit?
Inhouse.ai is our
All right.
website. You can find me on LinkedIn, and happy to, I always love working with founders, entrepreneurs. I had the great fortune 10 years ago when I started my journey, to have people that gave me free advice at different times. So I'm always happy to do that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value from today's episode. If you're ready to take your health and performance to the next level, grab our free superhuman guide at getsuperhuman.io/playbook. Hit subscribe, share this with someone who needs it, and I'll see you in the next episode. Stay superhuman.